I'm gonna see if this works better. Instead of live streaming, I'm just gonna record the video. See if it works better.
Another tick. Take care moving forward.
Copy that.
Doors powering up. Power rerouting. It appears the transformer on the far wall is now live.
The tick is still focused on the door.
So long as the tick has a power source to feed on, it won't bother searching for another. That did it. Well done.
This is much better.
More ticks in the next room.
We'll need some way to distract them. This crane arm is already online.
The slider is unlocked. You should be able to move the crane just like before.
That looks to be our best option for distracting those ticks.
If you can find a way to lure them out.
Okay.
Shields at 95%. Shields at 50%. Shields at 30%.
Got it.
Skillful work, Echo One.
Oh, man.
Door powered down. The tick can sense me through the glass.
Yes. As long as it can read your energy signature, the tick will continue to follow you.
Perhaps I can use that to my advantage.
Indeed. Ticks may be deadly, but they're not exactly intelligent.
Door power restored.
This is concerning. I didn't realize the infestation was so prevalent in this area of the facility.
You don't have any way to detect it in advance.
I only have limited access to the station's internal sensors, which at the moment aren't even fully operational.
You mind telling us just what the hell happened here?
There was a biomass outbreak.
I'll bet it's your attention to detail that sets you apart from all the other AIs.
There's not much more I can tell you without violating my directives.
Well, what about the crew? Are they really all gone?
All 118 souls aboard the station have either perished or were evacuated.
So then, what the hell are we doing here?
After your unexpected arrival aboard the Estrella, I was directed to bring you somewhere safe.
This is safe.
Well, the habitat was safe at the time. Now the ship is our only option.
Brilliant.
I'm guessing there's no way to open this door.
Unfortunately, no. The infestation is too severe. You will need to find another way around.
Here we go, here's the duct. Pink. Went a little too fast. Uh-oh. Stop. Ah. How do I get back? Oh, get off me.
Shields at 95%.
Son of a gun.
Shields at 50%. Shields at 30%.
Jack, are you alright?
Affirmative.
Do try to be more careful. Exposure to the biomass will compromise your shell.
I think he's aware of that, thanks, Juno.
Careful, Jack. Touching the biomass will likely result in your shell's destruction.
Yeah, no kidding. Can I sneak past? Thought for sure you'd jump on me. Gosh.
This door is completely disconnected from the power grid. It will need an external power source.
Like a battery.
Precisely. Door powered up.
How much farther, Juno?
Nearly there. The security room is just on the other side of this depot.
I assume we'll find more tick swarms?
Technically, the correct term for a group of ticks is a murder.
Appropriate.
I suppose. I always found the term a little too on the nose. Shields at 50%. Shields at 30%.
Hey.
Well, at least we can confirm your protocols are working.
You mean you weren't already sure?
Well, your architecture is somewhat dated. I had some minor concerns regarding its compatibility.
You might want to avoid mentioning that to Liv. Quite a sizable crane.
It also has greater freedom of movement, capable of sliding in 4 directions rather than just 2. The crane's power field might be enough to distract the ticks. Deftly handled, Jack.
Getting to be quite the tick expert, are we?
I imagine navigating a gauntlet of tick-infested corridors would make anyone an expert.
Actually, it would probably just kill them. Either way, well done.
Juno, you said earlier that you were directed to bring us here.
That's correct.
Or directed by who? I get it. You can't answer that.
Let's just focus on getting you to safety. I suspect much will be made clear once we have you secure aboard the ship. Battery locked in. Door online.
Jack! You made it.
Is everything all right?
Well, I still have a mindless tentacle monster trying with all its might to eat my face. But he hasn't actually managed to do it yet, so all in all, I'd say things are going pretty well. Listen, why don't I keep this little bugger on?
Uh-oh. What's going on?
Right, while you deal with the one on the door. Juno, you can help him out there, right?
I believe so. If you could lure the ticks into this disposal unit, you may be able to eject them into space. You can use this disposal unit to clear the room of ticks, but it's currently unpowered.
Disposal unit powered on. Now how do I eject the ticks?
The tick is siphoning power from the disposal unit. You'll have to use the manual ejection switch. Tick to descent.
Way to go, Jack.
Just one more to go. The creature does seem to be quite fond of the captain. Perhaps we can use that to our advantage.
Oh gosh.
Shields at 95%. Shields at 50%. Shields at 30%.
Jack! Are you alright? Everything uploaded okay?
Of course, I'm fine.
Oh, okay. Okay, good. Sorry, it's a new system.
Liv, come over to the door.
Whatever you need.
Shields at 95%. Shields at 50%. Shields at 30%.
Alright, he's in there now. Okay. Sayonara.
That's it. We're clear.
He
Confirmed.
wasn't even
Room
inside.
secure.
Nicely done. Now, Juno, if you would, please.
Jack, I need you to repower the door so I can open it.
Appreciate it. Are you alright?
Of course. These reconstructed shells are practically identical to my original design. I hardly notice a difference.
Hardly.
Well, there may be one or two servos that are off by a micrometer or so.
I'm sure you'll manage.
The important thing is we're finally clear of the biomass.
Captain Rhodes.
What is it?
More biomass.
Juno, you're kidding me right now with this.
Alright, seems to be working good now.
No, you're not kidding.
Not to worry, Captain. I already have a solution. While sorting through the station's database, I managed to locate a set of design specs for a protective EVA suit.
An EVA suit? With an air supply?
A limited air supply. We'll still want to get you to a stable environment as soon as possible. More importantly, the suit will provide limited protection against the biomass. I've already queued up the schematic. All you have to do is enter the fabricator, and we can begin.
Can't we just print the suit and I'll put it on out here?
The fabricator will perfectly form the suit to fit your body. It only takes a moment.
Okay.
I have a feeling it's gonna end up printing her at some point.
Captain, you have to hold still.
Are you all right?
Yeah. Okay. Juno, you could have warned me this was going to feel so weird.
How would I know?
Well, what do you think? Bit of a step up, wouldn't you say?
I like it. A marked improvement over your old EVA suit.
My old EVA suit was being held together by duct tape. I'd certainly hope this was an improvement. Come on, let's go.
Give me a moment to open the door. The ship is just up ahead.
Ugh, I almost forgot how nauseating this stuff looks up close.
No cause for alarm. Your suit's filtration system is designed specifically to handle airborne contaminants. You'll remain safe as long as direct contact is avoided.
I was more worried about my eyes, actually. You coming?
Slowly.
Is the ship not connected to the station?
Given the risk of contamination, the ship remains severed from the facility. Only under the most extreme circumstances...
I'd say this qualifies.
Of course, Captain. Stand by while I extend the gangway. Once inside, I suggest making your way to the bridge. From there...
Yeah, I'm familiar. From the cockpit, I can use the number 2 engineering panel to cycle the reactor and bring the ship online.
That's correct.
Juno, are you not coming with us?
All the power disruptions have rendered me unable to connect to the ship's mainframe. Once the power levels normalize, I should be able to join you on board. Good luck.
God, what are the odds?
What do you mean, Liv?
Oh, nothing. It's just... I grew up on a ship almost exactly like this one. It was part of the Solar Colonial Initiative.
How long do you suppose it's been in service?
No idea. We'll just have to find someone and ask.
Attention. Atmospheric pressure normal. Oxygen levels normal.
Well, that's promising. Hello? Anyone here? Nothing. I think it's just us, Jack. Well, let's have a look, shall we? This place... it's kind of nice, actually.
It's... nice?
Well, it's a relic, to be sure, but... seeing something familiar, something from our time... it's the closest to home we've been in what feels like an eternity. Well, this is telling. Look.
Argos.
It reads 2124. This ship was only 2 years old when we left. The cockpit controls are this way. Damn. Bridge door's unpowered.
Is there another way?
Pioneer-class ships like this have only one hatchway to the bridge. So no. We'll need to get resourceful. Let's look around.
This appears to be an old travel poster. I wonder how many settlements this ship has visited.
Posters like that were hard to miss when I was growing up. Just about every planet and colony had their own. Seems to be in pretty decent condition too, especially for being 4 centuries old.
The crude nature of this repair is a bit troubling.
Same could be said for us.
These cargo containers are designated for terraforming equipment.
Probably used to store spare parts for Atmo processes.
Because of your parents.
Yeah. Both Mum and Dad worked terraforming missions, carting us back and forth across the system. My brother liked to play hide and seek in the ship's cargo. At least that was until he got stuck inside one of the crates. Dad was livid. Not at him, at me, for not watching out. Before I was meant to be What in the... I know these Pioneer-class ships pretty well. But this equipment... I don't recognize any of it.
Could this be a source of power?
I'm betting it's the reactor.
Given its size and location, it seems likely, but I'm entirely unfamiliar with this design.
As am I. I say we turn it on and find out. If it works, the ship should start generating its own power again.
Which would give us stable life support.
Exactly. I'll see if there's a way to turn it on directly. Do you want to give the room a once-over in case there's an external control?
There are a number of wires coming out of the device.
Can you see what they connect to? Might lead to something useful.
Some of the wires from the device appear to lead back to this control console.
Well, that sounds promising. Be right over. It's offline too. The wires lead into that booth. Do you mind seeing if there's anything useful on the other end? I'll see what I can do on the console.
The wires feed into some sort of switch.
Okay, well, give it a try. It could be linked to the reactor. Jack, this console just came on. Did you do something? Ah, here we go. Unfortunately, not controls for the reactor. It's a console for a cargo lift. I'll try lowering it. See if it leads to something useful. Whoa, wait a minute.
Warning. Biomass threat detected. Containment protocols engaged.
Jack, come look at this. These canisters are holding ticks in some sort of stasis.
There is a device on top.
Oh, right. It's emitting some sort of energy field.
Could the field be keeping them docile?
I think you're right. Look, they have no idea we're here.
No.
What the hell?
Do you copy?
Who was... Jack, you can hear that, right? I've not gone daft.
It would appear Juno is not alone after all.
Juno, respond. What's happening over there?
This is Captain Olivia Rhodes. Who are you?
Olivia Rhodes. What are you doing on my ship?
Your ship?
Yes, my ship. What are you doing out of the habitat?
We lost power. Juno brought us here to try and get life support.
Never mind. Just stay where you are. I'll be there as soon as I finish rebooting the ship's power grid. Harlan, out.
Wait. Jack, if he reboots the power grid,
What would that mean for these containment canisters? If they lose power... Maybe we should find out from farther away. Nothing wrong with being a bit cautious.
Containment protocols engaged.
No, damn it! We're locked in.
We can remove the biomass by raising the lift.
Right. I've got the lift controls. Get me power again. I'll start the lift as soon as the console's active. Got it. Sending lift now. Come on, come on, come on!
Power cycle initiated.
No! We're not gonna make it!
Auxiliary power initializing.
Shit! 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 Jack! It's locked!
Lift.
My God, let's move!
Reaction core controls initializing. Conduit connected. Dual conduit connected. Reaction core primed and ready for ignition.
Holy shit. Thanks, Jack. That was too close.
Of course, Liv.
Jack? You're glitching.
FTO engaged.
Liv?
What's happening?
Athena, report.
Sensors reading unidentified spatial anomaly in this sector.
Cross-check Atlas database for similar phenomena.
Acknowledged. No records found. Recommend mission abort.
Negative. Maintain course. The Kronos 2 remains priority.
Acknowledged. Delta Actual.
13. Delta 13, you appear to be in distress.
Who is Delta 13?
I will take your response as confirmation.
Delta 6, is there a problem?
I suppose that depends, Actual. Does Delta 13 often forget their own designation?
Athena, 13 appears to be malfunctioning. Please advise.
Possible EM interference from the anomaly. Warning. Electromagnetic event detected.
That was interference from the anomaly.
Affirmative. Recommend all units perform cursory systems check.
Proceed.
Units, please verify your operational status. Delta Actual.
Online.
Delta 9.
Online.
Delta 6.
Online?
Delta 13.
You're supposed to say online.
Delta 13.
Online.
Confirmed. Delta 13 appears to have recovered. The results may be temporary. Recommend monitoring unit for further malfunctions.
Acknowledged. Delta 6. Delta 13 is your responsibility until further notice.
Acknowledged. Engaging chaperone protocol. Delta 13, please confirm.
Why do you keep calling me Delta 13?
Delta 13 is your designation.
No, it isn't. My name is Jack.
Perhaps your memory archive is fractured.
Be advised, approaching
Jack,
Kronos
damn it.
2 mining facility. Distance 4,800 meters.
Did she say we are approaching the Kronos 2?
Affirmative. The station went dark several days ago. We're here to determine why.
The station was destroyed when an unknown vessel arrived through temporal displacement. The ensuing debris impacts resulted in catastrophic damage.
That is an oddly specific theory.
It's not a theory. I was there.
Delta Actual, short-range communications have intercepted a pre-recorded distress call from the Kronos 2 captain.
Patch it through.
Titan Command, if you're out there, this is Captain Olivia Rhodes. Kronos 2 is lost. Say again, my station has been compromised. We were hit by a debris storm caused by the arrival of an unknown vessel in our sector. Damage is catastrophic.
That is my captain, Olivia Rhodes.
What do you mean, 13?
I already told you. My name is Jack. I served on the Kronos 2.
Jack. From the Kronos 2. If that were true, how are you here now?
I'm still figuring that out.
Proximity alert. Sensors detecting unknown devices in the area.
Isolate and enhance. Identify.
No matching records. The design suggests weaponization, threat assessment, and determined.
Are there other ships in the area?
Scanning. The SCI Ithaca and accompanying fleet are on course to pass within 47 kilometers of this location.
That's too close. We need to establish a warning beacon. No civilian vessels should. Athena, report.
Warning, electromagnetic event imminent.
That was unconventional.
It only gets worse.
Recommend maintaining a minimum safe distance from the anomaly.
Acknowledge. Begin deceleration for deployment. Prioritize threat assessment.
Initiating emergency deceleration. Vectoring to nearest device. Deceleration complete. Be advised, the nearest device is directly off the port bow.
Understood. Delta 9, take point with me. Deploy recon sats.
Affirmative.
Beginning assessment. Secondary objective, establish a warning beacon. Remaining Delta units, deploy now.
That's us, 13.
Recon Sat 3 indicates the device may be a form of torpedo. Moving to secure.
Let's get moving.
Biological agents detected.
Warning, third electromagnetic event imminent. Anomaly pulse detected.
All units brace for impact.
Jack! Jack! It's okay. It's me. It's Liv.
Liv?
Jack, you're all right.
I think so.
Oh, thank God. You've been out for quite a while now. The blast from the FDL must have scrambled your reboot protocols. I pulled your memory archive while you were out. Your logs are flooded with all this bizarre data. Delta Squad, bio-torpedoes, something called the Ithaca. Jack, what is all this? What's going on?
I was there.
Liv, I saw the Kronos. I saw our old station.
Come again?
I was on a ship, a shuttle. There were other Echo units, a military detachment sent to investigate what happened to the Kronos.
Okay. Maybe you're not so alright after all. Called that one a little too early.
It's not a malfunction. I was there. I was home.
Okay. I believe you. Listen, there's something you need to know. While you were out, I had a chance to meet with the captain of this ship.
The man we heard over the comms?
His name is Dr. Harlan. He said... He told me...
Liv, what is it? What's wrong?
You know what? It's probably better if you just see it for yourself. We can get a closer look at your memory archive while we're at it. Come on.
Cycling the ship's power or disable the insulation fields, allowing the ticks to escape.
What is that?
Listen, this Dr. Harlan isn't what you might call the cheeriest of souls. He might take some getting used to. Juno,
So he's
I
an
have
asshole.
Jack. Can you let us up?
I did warn you the station's generator was temperamental.
And how much longer can the ship operate on emergency power?
Maintaining our current energy draw, a few hours.
A few hours.
Dr. Harlan?
Jack, you finally recovered. I was beginning to think the blast from the FTL had obliterated your neural matrix.
Right here, retard.
So, you're the android. The Echo unit.
My name is Jack.
So I've been told.
Jack, this is Dr. Harlan, my administrator.
You're the one who is keeping us confined in the hab.
I am. And before you ask, no. I'm not the least bit sorry for it. I did what I did for your own safety, if that wasn't painfully obvious by now, as well as to protect the integrity of my work.
And what sort of work do you do?
Dr. Harlan is a geneticist, specializing in the study of biomass forms.
Specifically, the study of how to eliminate biomass forms.
Correct.
Dr. Harlan, I need you to show Jack what you showed me.
I have work to do. He's your android. You explain it to him.
He needs to see it.
Captain, perhaps I can be of some assistance.
Hold on. Get my hand situated here.
Come on, Jack. This way.
1 second.
Are you certain you want to see this again, Captain?
Just pull it up.
Very well.
What exactly am I looking at?
The future. All this orange you're seeing on the map, that's all biomass. That's how far it's spread.
To date, the infection has consumed approximately 56% of the habitable solar system.
Including Earth.
How did all this happen?
It starts with us.
With us?
With the destruction of the Kronos. 7 October, 2126. Your station, the Kronos 2, is almost completely destroyed when an unknown vessel suddenly appears in your sector.
The Estrella.
Correct.
When the Estrella traveled back to our time, it brought the biomass with it. And when we left...
The infection stayed behind.
Are we starting to see where this is going?
In the days following the incident, a fleet of Atlas survey ships unknowingly passed through the infected zone. Most of the fleet's crew complement is consumed by the biomass. The infected fleet proceeds along its predetermined course toward Earth. One by one, the now crippled vessels collide with the planet's surface, unleashing a global infestation. Humanity has no defense.
Billions of people. Most of the planet. Just... gone.
The remnants of humankind are scattered across the solar system. But without any means to combat the spread of the biomass.
It's only a matter of time. All those people.
In truth, the initial death toll would likely have been higher had it not been for the captain of the Ithaca, who managed
Wait, the Ithaca?
The Ithaca was the flagship of the returning fleet.
Ithaca. I've seen that name before.
Hardly surprising.
I remember it as well. I heard it when I was in the past.
When you were what?
Ah, that's it. That's where I saw it. In your memory logs. I've got the data right here. Look. Jack, would you mind running us through what we're seeing here?
I recall overhearing the ship was expected to arrive in Saturn orbit within a few days.
I don't understand. For that to be true, these logs would have to be from 2126. A full 3 months before the Ithaca crashed on Earth.
That is correct.
Jack, are you suggesting that you traveled back in time?
I know how it sounds.
I'm not sure you do.
This is why your memory was so fragmented. In the control room. Because you went back in time.
Not physically. Just my data. My consciousness. I believe the FTL accident may have briefly opened another temporal anomaly, disabling my shell and forcing my protocols to transfer to another echo unit.
400 years in the past.
Evidently.
You believe Jack's account, Captain?
It makes sense. A botched FTL jump is the whole reason we're in this mess to begin with.
It's the only explanation.
That is difficult to dispute.
Do you know, you with us?
Oh, apologies, Captain. I was distracted.
Something wrong?
I'm not sure. Can we access this memory block?
Just a sec.
Just as I thought.
What are we looking at here?
Some form of biomass weapon. I first encountered them while searching for you on the Estrella, and then again just now, when I went to the past.
Dr. Harlan.
As I recall, they tend to detonate when you get close, releasing a flood of biomass spores.
Oh, lovely.
Dr. Harlan.
Still not now.
Dr. Harlan, you should really take a look at this.
What part of not now do you not understand?
What? What is it?
The torpedo appears to be undetonated.
What's that supposed to mean?
Where did you pull this image from?
This is from one of Jack's recent memory logs.
Recent memory logs?
It's difficult to explain. It may or may not involve time travel.
I'm sorry, what?
We can parse out the details later. Right now, Doctor, you do realize what this could mean.
A solution.
Solution to what? Will someone please tell me what the hell's going on?
Right. Come with me.
You're studying these weapons, these bio-torpedoes.
They're not weapons so much as incubators. Inside each one is a sampling of the biomass-based genetic material. The infection in its purest form. All you need to know is this. If I could manage to sequence this material, I am confident I could develop a means to eliminate the biomass.
You're saying a cure?
It's what I've been searching for. But every torpedo I've encountered has been detonated. I've never seen one with its payload still intact.
But I have.
If that's true, then you may have just found the key to saving what's left of humanity.
Dr. Harlan, I'm afraid we may have more pressing matters.
Juno's right. Energy reserves are dipping into the red. I suggest we table this conversation until we find a way to restore the station's generator.
Perhaps there's something we can do.
Dr. Harlan, this is the part where you ask us for help.
How do we fix the generator?
Fixing the generator isn't the problem. The problem is getting to it. The generator facility is not accessible from within the station. You need to approach from the exterior. Search the outer hull for a way inside.
With a few improvements, you should have no trouble at all.
Where do we start?
Well, obviously you're going to need a new shell.
I will.
Well, you can't go venturing out to the generator in that relic you're housed in now. No offense intended, of course.
Of course.
Is this really necessary?
Transferring Jack to a newer shell will allow him to more easily interface with the station's various systems, as well as drastically improve his ability to maneuver in open space. Not to mention...
All right. Fine. So long as it's not too much of a strain on our power reserves.
This way, Jack.
I will robo-defecate on you.
I have already identified a shell design I believe you'll find satisfactory. It was originally meant for rapid emergency response. The base design includes enhanced speed and durability, as well as a data link compatible with the station's architecture.
Where are you? I hear you. Is it down here? Let me see.
I've already uploaded the shell's blueprints. It'll only take a moment to complete fabrication.
This looks familiar.
I've already adjusted the shell's underlying design to account for the particulars of Jack's neural matrix. All you'll need to do is shut yourself down, so I can transfer your processes to the new shell.
Oh, that's all, is it?
Don't worry, Captain. The transfer will be seamless. Construction complete. The new shell is prepped for transfer.
It looks like him.
Yes, I incorporated Jack's existing facial structure into the shell's design. I thought it might help distinguish him.
He is quite distinguished.
Jack, you're clear to initiate the shutdown procedure whenever you're ready.
Initialize neural matrix transfer. Verify hardware connection. Okay. Mapping core protocols to target. Success. Initialize boot sequence.
Jack? Jack, look at me. You alright?
Red, huh?
Affirmative. Transfer successful.
Well, Jack, I'll say this. You certainly clean up nice.
Thank you. I must admit this shell's architecture is much more spacious than my previous one.
Just don't go forgetting where you came from.
Now that the transfer is complete, I'd suggest running calibrations to acclimate your software to the new shell. I should be able to repurpose your old calibration program to suit our needs.
That's actually not a terrible idea.
Then it's settled. I'll queue up the appropriate modules.
Sit tight, Jack. We'll have you sorted quick enough.
Module M201.
Booster.
Primary boosters. Given that your previous AI adjutant is unavailable, I will guide you through these calibrations. Your EVA pack allows you to boost forward in the direction you are looking.
Got my EVA back.
Use your boost to reach the console ahead. Well done. Please press the hollow button to continue. Now boost to the end of the hall before the walls close in on you. Multiple boosts may be required. Excellent. Calibration module complete.
Braking.
Module M116. Braking thrusters.
Boost. Braking.
This module will calibrate your braking thrusters, which allow you to stop in place without grabbing any surfaces. You will continue to slow down for as long as you hold your braking thrusters. We'll practice this in the room ahead. Please meet me there to continue. There are 2 target zones in this room. Please boost into one of the zones and hold your braking thrusters until you come to a full stop. Success! Now use your braking thrusters to stop inside target zone B. Calibration module complete. Please stand by. What is troubling you, Jack? Module J101. Data interfaces. Your new body is capable of equipping multiple tools. In addition to your cutter, you now also have a data link. With it, you can interact with data ports around the station to activate objects or download information. Tap the button under your wrist to open the tool selection interface. Now, grab and pull the data link icon with your other hand. Good. This tool allows you to interact with data ports throughout the station. You can also activate your cutter on your other hand if you need to use both tools simultaneously. To proceed, move to the data port above the door ahead and use your data link to activate it. Well done. Please proceed to the room ahead. Some data ports will activate systems throughout the station. Others will allow you to retrieve useful information from the station systems. In this room, you can find a floating data tile and an observation drone. Scan their data ports to proceed. Excellent. Now, download the data from the data tile to proceed. Calibration module complete. Please stand by.
Very cool.
Welcome back to the real world, Jack.
Before you go, I'd like to make use of your new data link. Captain Rhodes?
Right.
What is this?
A data tile left behind by one of the station's scientists. I'd like to see if your scanner can access the information stored inside. Ah, interesting.
What was on it?
Research notes on the biomass.
Anything useful?
A list of genetic markers shared between the different biomass forms that could prove most useful. Jack, if you find any more devices with data ports like this one, be sure to scan them and transmit your findings to me.
Will do.
I've also added a new data tab to your ARM computer to track what we've recovered.
How much data was lost?
We don't actually have any way of knowing, but finding more will almost undoubtedly be beneficial towards developing a cure, even if only in a small way.
Understood.
Anything else, Juno?
That should be all for now.
Come on out then, Jack.
Juno, do you read?
Yes, Doctor?
I need you back here to help me pass the FTL's output data. And bring Captain Rhodes with you. I could use her insight as well.
We've nearly finished prepping Jack for departure.
He's still here? I could have built an entirely new generator by now. Get him out of the airlock and then get up here.
You weren't exaggerating. This Dr. Harlan is quite irritable.
Try not to be too hard on him. He has good reason.
It sounds like there's something I should know.
Juno? Tell him.
Everyone's dead.
Tell me what?
Dr. Harlan is infected.
Infected with what?
With the biomass, of course.
I don't understand. He seemed perfectly normal.
His infection is internal, a result of breathing in microparticles of the biomass. Though we have managed to slow the infection's progress using various treatments developed here at the facility, I fear the doctor may be approaching the final stages of his infection.
What happens if he doesn't develop a cure in time?
I'm guessing that very question is what's making him so irritable.
I hope this might help you better understand why Dr. Harlan is the way he is. His entire life, he's only ever had one goal: eliminate the biomass, preserve what's left of humanity. Thanks to you, for the first time in, well, quite a while, we appear to be making progress.
Whatever I can do to help.
You can start by restoring the generator.
Lead on.
Cycling the airlock now. Ready to depart. Hard seal. Ready to cycle.
Wait a second, Juno. Jack, listen. There's something else.
Captain Rhodes, maybe now isn't the best time.
I'm not about to send him out there with only half the story.
Liv, what is it?
You remember on the Estrella, when you saved my life by repressurizing the bridge?
Liv, what are you saying?
The oxygen that flooded into the bridge was contaminated. Dr. Harlan's already run a test to confirm. The infection's in my system.
No.
Jack, listen to me.
What?
The contaminants were microscopic.
What?
There was no way you could have known.
No,
Okay.
I
So you
cleared the vents.
Yes, you did. And if you hadn't, I'd have been dead almost instantly.
This is my fault. I should have confirmed the air was safe.
No, checking for contaminants would have taken too long. I'd have suffocated.
Currently, the captain's infection is dormant. It takes time, often years, for the biomass to shut down the human body. What's more, her particular strain of the infection is less aggressive than Dr. Harlan's, perhaps due to her having acquired it in the past.
The best thing we can do right now, the only thing, is help Dr. Harlan develop his cure. We do that, all our problems are solved.
Technically, not all of them. You'll still be stuck in the wrong time.
I have the
Yes.
strength of 1,000
Thank you,
tiles.
Juno.
I will punch
Get to the
through this
generator.
drywall.
Stabilize the power grid. Hopefully, by then, we'll have come up with an idea for what's next.
Liv, I promise. I will make this right.
Nothing to make right, Jack. This isn't your fault. Now off you go. Good luck.
Commencing depressurization. Depressurization complete.
Exiting airlock. How do I reach the generator?
The generator facility should be just up ahead as you exit.
Copy that.
Is that it?
I'll mark the destination for you.
Juno, pull the FTL's output log, starting a few minutes back from the accident.
What are you looking for?
If you're
Oh my gosh.
Void is right and the FTL accident really did create.
Oh my gosh, come on. You need to stop doing this.
A temporal anomaly, then we should see clear evidence of the event in the output data. FTL drives don't normally rip open tunnels through time.
I don't believe being infected by biomass is normal either.
Wait, you're right. Juno, can you pull up the readings from right when the ticks attacked the drive?
Stand by.
This resonance. The FTL shouldn't be creating a displacement with this signature and nowhere near this magnitude.
Then it's the biomass.
Oh, come on. This is a little immersion breaking, to say the least. Oh, brother.
Has to be. It's causing some sort of reaction in the drive.
I wonder if I'll ever be in this VR2.
Let's get to it then.
If
Jack,
so,
we'll be on standby.
Acknowledged.
definitely won't play down there.
I've located the entrance.
Unfortunately, it seems the airlock is offline, most likely due to the power failure. An alternate access method will be required.
Does that mean there's another way in?
Station blueprints show an access hatch on the facility's exterior. Look for a small rectangular hatch with a red cover.
Copy that. I'll take a look outside.
Red hatch. There's a red hatch.
Access hatch located. Looks like I'll have to cut my way in.
With the generator's interior in a vacuum state, it should be safe to use your cutter here. Explosive decompression will not be an issue.
Copy that. I'm inside the facility. What's next?
The main problem is almost certainly the reactor. It's a large cylindrical structure in the facility's central chamber. The access way will take you there, though additional cutting may be required. But please, try to avoid damaging our former workplace too heavily.
Juno!
Wait, you two used to work here?
Juno and I were part of the station's biomass research team.
So you were here during the outbreak?
No, I had taken leave to pursue my theory for eliminating the biomass. By the time I returned, it was too late. There was no one left.
My God, Harlan.
Captain, please. We have work to do.
Reactor located.
Great. How's it look?
Not well. I'm seeing smoke, likely from an internal malfunction.
That explains the power outage.
And the life support failure.
Right, better open it up, Jack. See what's going on in there.
Scan successful. Interesting. Shortly before the outbreak, the engineers developed a means of optimizing the power flow of the reactor. Jack, if you can find more data on this, I may be able to adapt these principles to your integrated cutter.
How much more data?
Uncertain. Without possessing the actual data, it's impossible to measure its size. Nonetheless, I've made an entry in the data tab on your ARM computer. I anticipate only a few more scans will be required, though.
Acknowledged. I'll keep watch for more data ports. I'm opening a casing for a closer look at the reactor.
Copy that.
Malfunction confirmed. A bad reactor core.
You'll need replacements to get the reactor running again, Jack. The facility contains a storage area that might be worth investigating.
Thanks, Juno. Some type of local data storage?
Correct. Insert enough of them into a database terminal, and the terminal's data port will become available to scan. Nice work, Jack. Much of the data here will prove useful in augmenting your cutter. Unfortunately, we will need more to complete the design. But I did find something that might be of interest. A voice memo from the station's chief engineer regarding the technology. I've added it to your ARM computer's data tab, Jack.
Hey everyone, I wanted to send a quick update to just our team before the news goes wide. We did it. As of about 6 minutes ago, we flipped the switch on the new reaction management system. We're seeing a stable 72% increase in outflow with a peak at almost 90%. For those keeping score, that's 12% above projections. Hell of a job, everyone. This will save lives.
Where's that port?
This drone's power appears to be depleted.
There should be an induction charger nearby. Simply insert the drone to replenish its power. Once it finishes charging, we should be able to access its data port. Good news, Jack. With the data you just collected, I expect we need only one more scan to complete the design.
Juno, I need you to run the math on these sim parameters.
Yes, Doctor.
Dr. Harlan, why did you have to leave the station? There seems to be plenty of biomass.
That is all highly evolved. I need the base genetic material, and that can only be found in an undetonated biomass torpedo. There was nothing more I could do from here.
Right. Then what brought you back? Did you know the station had...
I'm sorry, Captain Rhodes, but we do not have time for me to recount my entire life story. I was here. I lived. And when I came back, everyone was dead or gone.
All right. Fine.
Why don't I simply compile an archive of the logs covering our time away from the station? That way the captain can review them at her leisure.
If you must, but after you've finished verifying the sim parameters.
Very well. I will let you know when I've finished, Captain.
Thanks, Juno.
The reactor has quite the unique shape. An icosahedron. For optimal power flow, I assume.
Correct. The reactor's quasi-regular orthogonality allows for nearly flawless energy management.
Good enough state to work, though, right?
Yes, the malfunction appears to be temporary. Install a complete set of operational cores, and the reactor should resume normal functionality.
Okay. Well, sounds like you two have got things handled.
Copy that. A fully charged core. Hopefully, still able to make clean contact with the reactor.
Let's try it this way.
Now simply rotate the core clockwise until it stops turning.
Core is locked in.
Excellent.
Is that the only one? Let's go here somewhere. What is this?
I found a device in the storage area.
A network terminal. It may still be connected. Scan its port with your data link to attempt a data transfer. Excellent. That did indeed provide sufficient data. Just give me a moment to process everything. Stand by. Schematic complete. Please head to the nearest fabricator so we can install the improvement tier cutter.
Cool. I get a new cutter.
Empty racks here. Were they running low on supplies?
Negative. However, among the facility's final logs are inventory requests of unusually high quantities. I presume anyone who managed to escape the station must have brought the supplies with them.
Let's hope such was the case. Must have been a horrid scramble.
I can't open this. Let's go to the fabricator. There's one over here, I think. Yep.
Integration successful. Your shell's reactive cutter has been refitted with extended range and efficiency.
Well done, Juno.
The pleasure was mine. And please, restrict cutting to non-critical equipment.
I'll probably have to cut my way through from the other side. I've managed to open the hatch leading to the storage area.
Splendid. The area should now be accessible through the maintenance duct below. Captain, I've finished compiling the log data you requested.
Great, can you pass it to my ARM computer, Juno? Actually, best send it to Jack as well.
Of course. Jack, I've added it to your data tab.
Wow, this is some archive.
It was an illuminating expedition. I took the liberty of segmenting the log entries. Feel free to review them at your own pace.
If you two have finished, I've input the parameters for the next sim.
Of course, Doctor. Seizing faster than light travel in 3, 2, 1. FTL jump complete. We're approximately 450,000 kilometers from Earth.
Perfect. Bring us in slow and begin long-range scans.
Of course, Doctor. For the scan criteria, shall I use the same parameters as those when we examined the Kronos remnants? Or perhaps from the wreckage of the unknown vessel?
Both. And factor in the fleet's travel time. Kronos incident. Plus 4 months.
I already have. Beginning sweep.
And now, we wait. There has to be at least one torpedo left. Somewhere in that mess.
Second core installed.
Acknowledged. Please visit one of the nearby consoles to bring the reactor back online. Analysis complete.
And?
Negative. Shall I broaden our search criteria?
No. Anything beyond these parameters would be too far removed from the base genetic material. Let's see. Most of the fleet fell to the surface. The Ithaca was of sufficient mass that perhaps it might...
Doctor, I cannot permit such an action. The biomass particulate levels in the atmosphere are extreme. Even if we were to safely make planetfall, we would not...
I know, Juno. Damn it. 14 months of searching.
Dr. Harlan, if I may...
Yes, I know. There's nothing to be gained here, or anywhere. Set a course back to the station. Perhaps...
Dr. Harlan, I merely wish to remind you that both the Kronos and the Ithaca had something in common.
The reactor is back online.
I am
Power
aware.
hasn't returned here on the ship yet.
But both the property of the Atlas Corporation as well. To the ship, as well as the rest of the station. The control room has a console you can use to perform this final step. While the company itself is no longer in operation, remnants of its headquarters persist here on Luna.
Luna?
Yes. Analysis complete.
And?
Distribution complete. Power grid stabilized. Life support systems optimal.
Well done, Jack. We're getting full power here.
How is progress on your end?
Dr. Harlan's still running sims, but I think we at least have a working theory.
All the models we've run so far appear to confirm biomass interaction with an active FTL triggers an abnormal buildup of energy within the drive, resulting in the formation of a temporal anomaly.
For reasons we still don't fully understand.
It is also unclear why the accident only caused the android's software to travel through time, as opposed to the more physical time jumps we've observed with the Astrea. But at this point, I'm willing to accept these ambiguities and proceed.
Wait, what exactly are you saying?
We must try it again.
What, send Jack back in time again? You've got to be kidding me.
It's the only way. Any chance we have of eliminating the biomass lies
with
finding an undetonated torpedo. We must send the android back.
You talk like he's expendable.
Of course he is. All of us are. You've seen how it spreads. Eradicating the biomass is going to take everything we have, and then some.
Yeah, well, it's not just up to you, is it? Jack, what do you think?
If the end result is you being cured, is that not the best course of action?
Are you sure? There are so many unknowns here.
There does not appear to be another way of obtaining the data required. Waiting for an alternative presents a far greater risk to your safety. And your safety...
It's your primary concern, right? Should have seen that coming. Fine. I'm on board. So what's next?
We're going to have to recreate the circumstances of the time travel accident.
Oh, don't tell me.
We're going to need biomass. Contained biomass samples specifically. The research facility should serve our purposes nicely.
There is one other problem. The FTL accident depleted the drive's fuel cells, and we don't have the supplies to refill them.
Then our best bet for a fuel cell will be the remnants of the Astrea. However, exploring that area may be difficult. Pesky shipboard defense protocols somehow remain active. Something off with the AI, Juno says.
Could be just as dangerous as dealing with the biomass, really. Well, Jack, what's up first? Grab some creepy crawlies from the research facility? Or dig up a fuel cell for the FTL drive?
The FTL fuel cell sounds like a priority.
Feeling a bit nostalgic for the old Astrea, are we?
Following the yellow conduits will lead you directly to the salvage site.
Thank you, Juno.
So when Jack eventually returns with these volatile materials, where exactly do we plan to store them?
I believe I can convert elements of the refueling depot to suit our needs.
Need a hand?
Why, yes, Captain. Your assistance would be most appreciated.
Anything's better than just sitting here. Come on, Popcorn. Let's get ready to head out. Good luck out there. See you soon.
Hopefully it doesn't load a bunch. So that's the history.
This equipment is some form of dock or buoy?
Affirmative. It's one of the station's charging docks. They're set up to facilitate recharging and navigation for the various drones deployed here. Though it is worth noting that the Doctor and I have redeployed several pieces of equipment as well. Fortunately, with the generator repaired, we should be able to restore most of the equipment throughout the station by scanning their data ports.
Understood.
What is that? No loading yet.
Approaching the Astrea now.
Finally, if any fuel cells are still intact, they'd probably be deeper within the wreckage. Unfortunately, everything beyond the bridge is steeped in radiation, and the ship's AI is just making matters worse.
The ship's AI? Do you mean Apollo?
Oh, you're familiar.
Apollo was the ship's tactical AI. He was instrumental in helping us survive our first encounter with the biomass.
I just hope he's still online.
Considering my difficulties exploring here, he must be.
Then if we can make contact with Apollo, he can probably help us find the fuel cell we need.
Guess it's time to say hello to our old friend.
Roger that. Heading to the bridge. A downed cargo drone. Some of your equipment, Dr. Harlan.
Correct. Incapacitated by the ship's AI, best I can tell.
Why would Apollo do that?
He did mention serving as a tactical AI. It's possible Apollo has activated some security measures around his ship.
Isn't that perfect?
Well, I'm sure you can convince him to help us out, Jack. We did before.
All this scaffolding. Dr. Harlan, were you attempting to repair the bridge?
I was stabilizing it so I could investigate. It would have become a salvage operation had the ship's AI not shut down all my equipment. With my equipment offline, the radiation there has made it impossible to work.
Not to worry, Dr. Harlan. Apollo will listen to us.
Power feeding from Chiron Station.
A way to keep the bridge online, so Dr. Harlan could investigate.
Wait, you're powering the bridge? Don't you think that could have...
Yes, Captain Rhodes. It seems in doing so that I inadvertently prompted the ship's AI to destroy my equipment. Juno was handling the cargo drone's navigation out there, so I assumed I could safely investigate the bridge. I didn't want to lose an opportunity to learn more. But perhaps this outcome was inevitable.
A bypass for the door controls, locked behind a keypad.
It was the only way I could gain access. The code is 2126.
I've gained access to the bridge.
I assume you have some type of plan.
Apollo's AI core would be an appropriate place to start. It was vital to his operation here.
Good point, Jack. If it's still intact, could be all we need to strike up a conversation.
You two are rather confident.
Apollo commissioned us as official crew members last time we met.
And we did part on good terms. I'm sure he'll do what he can to help.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
A casualty from Dr. Harlan's previous investigation.
It was just another shell lying around the station. We were trying to put it to good use.
I thought I could pilot it well enough, but apparently limb control is not my forte.
I'm expecting you'll fare better, Echo One. If this Apollo is indeed the ally you say he is.
These induction panels were essential to my survival on the Estrella. However, they no longer appear to be in an operable state, much like the rest of the ship. The defibrillation unit.
Lucky you found it when you did. Otherwise I wouldn't be here.
I should have been more careful.
Come on, Jack, stop it.
I should have checked the air for contaminants.
You know that would have taken too long. I'd have died on the table. And neither of us would be here now. You can't blame yourself for my infection. I certainly...
Unknown user detected. Bridge access is restricted to crew members only.
Wait, what?
Initializing threat suppression protocol.
Apollo, disable the alarms. Now!
Invalid command. The only crew members authorized with bridge access are Captain Olivia Rhodes and the Echo Unit designation. Jack, welcome back to the Estrella. It is good to see you.
Thank you, Apollo. It is good to see you as well.
Is Captain Rhodes with you? And well, I hope.
Cheers, Apollo. We missed you.
Likewise, Captain. Jack, your appearance is altered. I almost did not recognize you. I must apologize for the alarms.
Your reasoning was sound.
What brings you back to the Estrella?
We need an FTL fuel cell, Apollo. But we believe you've been disabling Dr. Harlan's salvaging equipment. We'll need it back online to deal with the radiation here.
Preserving this vessel is my primary directive. The last time jump virtually destroyed it. No further attempts to remove or misuse equipment can be permitted.
Lives depend on it, Apollo.
I understand, Captain, but I cannot allow any further material from this vessel to be compromised.
Apollo, Liv is infected with the biomass, and your directive is protecting the ship's crew and its critical assets.
Forgive me, Jack. I failed to follow your reasoning.
You yourself commissioned Liv, a fellow Atlas employee, as acting captain after the deaths of your original crew. You must remember.
Confirmed, though I had not considered her status in such terms. Captain Rhodes is truly infected.
She needs your help.
Very well. As the Estrella's tactical adjunct, my primary directive is to protect its crew.
So you will help then?
Affirmative. I am hereby available to assist you in obtaining a fuel cell.
Lovely. That's settled.
Apollo, are you able to detect any fuel cells that are still operational?
My sensor network has been severely damaged. However, any functional fuel cells on the Estrella would be in the auxiliary drive bay. It can be seen through the window far ahead of the bridge.
It seems easy enough to reach.
And it would be if this AI hadn't disabled the equipment I set up to counter the radiation.
A temporary security measure. Your equipment is now re-enabled.
You better not have damaged any of it.
Normal operations should resume now. Jack can verify this.
Oh dear. Incoming.
What the hell is that?
A cargo drone. Apparently no longer capable of flight.
Apologies. My anti-theft protocols are quite aggressive.
Fortunately, our salvaging equipment appears to still have working radiation dampeners, meaning Jack should now have a safe route to the drive bay.
That's some good news.
A number of problems remain. Accessing the fuel cells, for one. Doing so will require that I have direct control of the systems within the drive bay. You must bring me along with you.
Are you seriously going to integrate with this rogue AI?
Without Apollo, we wouldn't have lasted this long. We can trust him.
Jack, I'll walk you through the process of downloading my imprint to your cortex.
I'm ready, Apollo.
Simply insert my AI core into the lower receptacle, then use your data link on the override slot. I will do the rest. Disconnecting from mainframe now. Download complete. Only one final issue remains, Jack. Your arms are too short.
Too short?
The FTL technology is highly sensitive. Accessing the drive bay and the fuel cells within will require multiple operators.
Good thing there's two of us then.
Unfortunately, the debris field is far too irradiated to accommodate Captain Rhodes.
You're saying Jack's the best chance we've got, but even he won't be enough.
I might be able to help, actually. The cargo drones employ stasis technology, which enables them to manipulate objects at a distance.
Like the stasis projectors we used to levitate the tram back in the hab.
Exactly. I believe I can incorporate the drone stasis tech into your shell, Jack. I'll just need more data from them to be sure.
The drone that just hit the bridge is unlikely to put up much resistance. I'll start there.
Whenever you're ready, Jack.
I'm heading out. Unfortunately, this drone is in no condition to be scanned. I'll try finding another.
Jack, to stay protected from radiation out there, you'll need to activate radiation dampeners with your data link. They can be found on both charging docks and cargo drones. Shields at 95%.
Radiation dampener activated.
Hypothesis confirmed. With sufficient data, I'll be able to construct a tool for extending your reach, Jack.
Does this tool have a name, Juno?
Well, it will essentially project your grip across space, so I suppose...
It's a grip projector. Let's move on.
More data will be needed.
There'll be plenty on the way to the drive bay. You know what to look for.
Affirmative. Inoperable cargo drones, but with functioning data ports. Heading to the drive bay.
Please remember the charging docks have radiation dampeners as well, Jack. They'll help keep you safe out there.
Thank you, Juno.
Shields at 50%. Good find, Jack. There's a bit of data in there we can apply toward developing a cure for the biomass. Shields at 30%. Shields at 95%. Shields at 50%. Shields at 30%.
How am I supposed to use the induction?
Analysis complete.
And?
Negative. Shall I broaden our search criteria?
No. You know, this is incredible. Coming here was an excellent idea.
Dr. Harlan, I must again insist that you return to the ship. Conditions here are not conducive to...
No, listen to
My
this.
readings show usable cargo drones still remaining in the area, Jack. Locating and scanning them will be necessary for creating your new tool.
Future. Do you have any idea what this means? The implications are staggering.
Doctor, please. Now that you have established an uplink, I am quite capable of extracting these archives. I would much rather you peruse them from the safety of the Argos.
Yes, just another minute, Joe. Look here.
Shields at 95%.
They learned all this from a partially functional adjutant they found aboard the ship.
Partially functional does not suggest a high degree of credibility.
They ran metrics. Anyway, it seems once they linked it to a diagnostic terminal, it made rapid progress through the firewalls and exhaustively poured over the data stores.
How polite.
At which point it concluded that because the vessel, the Astrea, had been displaced in time, the activation of its auxiliary drive bay had partially reversed that displacement.
I'm unsure what that means, Doctor.
Yes. It seems that several hours after the vessel arrived here, there was an enormous burst of energy.
Shields at 50%.
And half the ship disappeared instantaneously, just as suddenly as it had arrived. And this adjutant concluded that
Shields at 30%.
corresponded with activating the auxiliary drive bay, thereby sending half the vessel back to its original. As always, those charging ports won't have the data satellites to decide you are too far out. They have to restore your power. You know, hold your hands near the induction panel. Means, and it will
That you should return to the Argos at once? The Doctor is correct. The doc's data won't help in developing a new tool. However, I think it may still prove useful, specifically because the docks normally maintain a coordination and optimization network. They contain shared data from across the station. Prior to the generator going offline, the units in the radiated areas were sharing optimizations that I believe could still be used to improve your multispectral shielding, making your way back to the
Scanning
airlock.
further docks should provide the necessary data.
Yes, I believe so. I've added a tracker to your data tab. Archives recovered. I'm quite confident now that with more optimization data, I can significantly improve your multispectral shielding's resistance to radiation.
I am curious, Juno. Why is my shielding not already optimized? Neither my shell nor the charging docks are experimental technologies, correct?
That is true. I believe the lack of optimization stems from two related factors. Firstly, there has not been a significant need for such optimization. The current shielding configuration has been more than adequate for typical X3 mission profiles. Secondly, practical testing scenarios for data collection have not presented themselves until quite recently. Apollo, I believe I may be able to extend Jack's reach by about 4 meters. I hope that will be far enough.
Affirmative.
Just a few more scans should suffice, Jack. Shields at 50%. Shields at 30%. Data stores recovered. Network connectivity restored. This should prove useful in optimizing your multispectral shielding, Jack. Jack, I'm detecting extreme radiation nearby. If you can pinpoint the source, I advise staying clear.
Hazard identified. An active warhead from the Astrea.
Once your grid projector is installed, removal of dangerous objects like this will be possible. Until then, maintaining a prudent distance is advisable. Shields at 50%. The stasis projection technology will be simpler to adapt than previously anticipated. If you scan one more cargo drone, I believe I will have enough data to complete your new tool. Shields at 30%.
Oh, so close.
Shields at 95%. Shields at 50%. Excellent. Further optimization data recovered. Though, I'm afraid I'll need more to complete the design.
Hollow, I wanted to ask.
Yes, Captain.
Well, you probably figured this out already, but... You know this isn't your time, right? This isn't the future you came from.
Affirmative. When we first arrived, I was able to accurately calculate the astronomical year. However, I lacked sufficient data to determine that the course of history had been altered. I apologize for having misinformed you. The fact that half of the Estrella was left in your time and led to system-wide decimation of the human race is clear evidence of a tactical oversight on my part.
Analyzing. Perfect. As predicted, I now have sufficient data to improve your multispectral shielding, Jack. Please return to the nearest fabricator for installation.
Hell of a lot of radiation out there. Guess it's coming from the Estrella.
Correct. The Estrella's last time jump ruptured a generator, diffusing radiation throughout the region.
Thus the radiation darkness.
This is very cool. I love this.
Installation successful. Jack, your multispectral shielding should now be more resistant to radiation. Please note, however, that contact with biomass will still drain it just as rapidly as before.
Understood. Thank you, Juno.
Of course. Shields at 95%. Charging dock restored. Jack, now that we've completed optimizing your shield's radiation resistance, I'm afraid there's nothing more to be gained from your dock's data.
What's the point of an advanced network of semi-autonomous recharge stations if you can't count on them to calculate impressive optimizations for you?
I believe you are correct, Captain. The distributed computing power of the charging docks could be put to greater use.
Yes. That's precisely what I meant. Go on.
I have tasked the charging docks with developing methods for allowing Jack's shield to self-regenerate. Tool schematics complete. Please visit a fabricator to install your new tool, Jack. Most charging docks will have one nearby. Grip projector installed. To use your grip projector, simply point at a target, activate the projector, and direct it with your hand. Any sufficiently small piece of debris would be ideal to experiment on.
If your new tool works as intended, Jack, you should be able to access the fuel cells now.
Good. Heading to the drive bay.
Shields at 95%. Shields at 50%. Shields at 30%.
Come on.
This dock is now part of the computational array.
Dr. Harlan, what was your purpose in attempting to salvage the Estrella? The odds of my ship's components being compatible with yours seems unlikely.
It wasn't the hardware I was after. Your ship was the original source of the infestation. I'd hoped to find an undetonated biomass torpedo amongst the wreckage. Use it to develop a cure for all this.
I understand, Doctor. Considering my current directives, I will provide any useful data that may help in your research.
Better late than never, I suppose.
I'm coming up on the drive bay now.
Warheads nearby, Jack. Please be mindful of their extreme radiation levels.
You won't be able to handle them directly, Jack. Maybe your new tool could help.
Alexa, stop.
Shields at 95%.
Warheads removed. Entry into the drive bay is now clear.
Copy that. Standing by.
Now heading for the fuel cells.
Great. We'll keep a working cargo drone on standby. Just look for a good fuel cell and we'll handle the rest.
Roger that. A spent biomass torpedo.
Just like every other that was left behind here. Useless for my research, unfortunately. As soon as one detonates, accessing its incubator is no longer tenable.
Apollo, is this the only way into the drive bay?
I'm afraid that's correct, Jack. The fuel cells are stable, but the same cannot be said of their contents. As a result, access is tightly restricted. The door can be opened, however, by using the nearby controls. Jack, the fuel cells are protected behind a large security door. You'll need to activate a pair of nearby controls to gain access. I've gained access to the drive bay.
Wait, those pillars in the center, are those?
The Freya's FTL drives, yes.
Do they still work?
Theoretically, but unfortunately they're of little use to us. With such a high concentration of biomass forms in this area, any attempt to remove one of the drives would prove futile.
Dr. Harlan, I'm noticing these ticks appear to be less evolved than those we've previously encountered.
Must have carried over from the last time jump. No doubt just as dangerous. I advise avoidance at all costs.
Jack, my monitoring systems are offline here. You'll need to manually inspect each fuel cell in order to determine its viability. Simply scan their data ports to get started.
Do we know what the biomass does specifically to an FTL drive to trigger a time jump?
I have a few theories.
As do I.
And I'm sure they're all equally preposterous.
The drive assembly looks remarkably like Dr. Harlan's FTL, if only a bit larger.
As I understand it, our drives were reverse engineered from the ones left behind on the Astrea 400 years ago. Their functionality hasn't improved since then.
Apollo, could one of these FTL drives contain a suitable replacement for the fuel cell?
Doubtful. All of these drives are likely depleted from the last jump. And even if that were not the case, I would still advise against venturing too close to those biomass swarms. If we're to leave here with a viable source of energy, it will need to be one of the fuel cells along the outer wall.
Shield's at 50%.
Fuel cell located.
Use the data port and I'll expose the cell for visual inspection.
It's alright, Jack. Just stick to the outer walls and try to avoid touching any biomass.
I'm confused. Its AI pathing requires voice input?
What? No, You've got this, Jack. Don't worry, Doctor. If you run up against that many ticks, I'll be just as verbally encouraging.
Unfortunately, Captain Rhodes. Being organic, I am committing far fewer errors in judgment.
Exposing fuel cell for your inspection, Jack. Jack, before we remove any fuel cells, you'll first need to check their condition. Access the data ports near the cells so I may expose them for your inspection.
Empty. I'll have to keep looking.
Accessing fuel cell.
Another empty cell.
Apollo, you're sure there's a good fuel cell there?
I never said I was sure, Captain Rhodes. It's simply the most likely location on my ship to contain a viable fuel cell, if any were remaining.
Right. If any were remaining.
Exposing fuel cell for inspection. Exposing cell for visual inspection.
Viable fuel cell located. Hopefully enough to power Dr. Harlan's FTL drive.
Nicely done, Jack. I'm sending a drone your way.
Send 2.
What for? It's only one fuel cell.
Just trust me. Send 2.
Warning. Lead drone compromised.
Jack, what's going on?
The ticks swarmed the lead cargo drone.
And that is why you send 2.
I don't think we'll be using that one again.
Backup drone malfunctioning.
More ticks. The lead drone is disabled, but the backup still has a chance.
Pesky bastards, aren't they?
I'll clear them off. Drone cleared.
Acknowledged. Thank you, Jack. Resuming flight. Drone is in place to collect the cargo.
Jack, I've activated the release controls on the fuel cell.
Shields at 95%. Shields at 50%.
Fuel cell released.
Cargo secured. Ready for departure.
Excellent. The fuel cell still needs to be latched into place once it arrives, Jack. Well, as all yours. Right.
I'll take care of it, Liv. I prefer to see the job through to the end anyway.
Great. We'll see you in a bit.
Cargo drone returning in T-minus 10 seconds.
Better grab on or stay clear, Jack.
Cargo drone departing in 3, 2, 1. Firing thrusters. Shields at 95%. Shields at 50%.
The fuel cell is clear of the drive bay.
Great. We'll have some cargo clamps ready to receive it here.
Shields at 95%. Fuel cell in place and ready to be secured.
All you, Jack. Jack, I went ahead and hooked up the fuel cell. Just need to make sure this stuff's gonna work. I guess you'll be heading to the research facility then.
That is where we'll be able to acquire a contained biomass sample, correct?
Indeed. I'll provide further details once you're on site.
Copy that.
Shields at 95%.
Alright, that's going to pretty much do it, you guys. Thank you for watching. I'll probably do it this way from now on, where I'm recording the video instead of going live. It seems to be a lot more enjoyable. And then I'll just upload the video and you guys can watch them. Thanks for watching this. Leave a like if you like this. Give me some input, how I could do better. And I'll talk to you later. Enjoy the rest of your day. Have a good one. Bye.